It does indeed. I mean, for Brazil to come here into this match has been a fantastic achievement for them. You know, if they can get themselves onto the podium, that'll be the first time ever for them to take home a World Championship medal.
Well, here we go. The Recurve women's team bronze medal match. A strong French team go up against Brazil.
Representing France, Lisa Barbellon. Caroline Lopez. Melody Richard. Shooting on target number 2, representing Brazil, Ana Marcel dos Santos. Ana Machado. Sarah Nickerton.
Well, two big teams. The French team very young. Melody Richard 19 and Caroline Lopez just 17. Team up with Lisa Barbellon, who's well, she's young herself, part of the European Championship gold medal winning team at just 21 years old. Go up against the slightly more experienced Anne dos Santos, Ana Machado and Sarah Nickerton. Nikki, the French team are young, but they've made it here to these medal matches. Are Brazil going to get their first ever World Championship medal?
Oh, it's a tight one to call at this time. I mean, France have had an amazing summer, but as I say, Brazil are absolutely on fire to get all the way through here to the bronze match, so it's going to be a great match to see.
Both teams pumped up and ready to go. Santos on the shooting line for Brazil, but it will be Barbellon leading out for the French team. In fact, it's Richard who's leading out.
Opening arrows at 6 on the right-hand side.
Not the kind of start they wanted, obviously altering their sights. Can't see too much wind out on the venue so far. Another one in that area, so they've obviously come off a practice field. It might be that, you know, the conditions there or the position of that field has just sent them that way, so you can see them communicating and changing their sights.
Well, here is the leader of the team, just 21 years old, Lisa Barbellon. Into the 10 ring. She'll be angry for that team as well.
Arrow for Brazil, 9 points.
Much better start from Brazil. Sometimes it's an advantage to shoot second, you know, in the opening of a match like that, so you can see what the conditions are and adjust as well.
Machado hands over to Nickerton. It's a big advantage here for Brazil.
And a 10-9 liner.
On the line, marked as a 9, but will go to a measure. So we switch back over for the next 3 arrows for France. And will the French team stick with their order?
Quite a long hold, see a little bit of shaking, some nerves setting in already.
8 points.
Still over to the right, just need to make some more adjustments, get them straight into that gold.
Yeah, interested to see Lisa Barbellon there, who's just stepped up to the line. She had her eyes closed, visualising, I think partly to not be distracted by what her teammates are doing, just to focus on her own shot, her own process, and finishes with a 9 for a 51. A very gettable target for Brazil in the early stages of this bronze medal match.
Again, just good communication with the team. You know, their coach is going to be behind them in the box. They've got a scope on the target, just giving that feedback to the archer, where the arrow's gone and what adjustment to make.
Well, 4 points to share the set points. Anything more than that, and Brazil will take the first 2 set points. Target for the win is 5 set points. Finishing with a 10, there is a measure there, so potentially the Brazilians could be on 4 of 58. But for now, it is 57 points for them and 2 set points to start this bronze medal match off. Well, Nikki, you said that shooting second is potentially an advantage. Now here, the shooting line is slightly protected from the wind because of the formation of the trees. Is that even more important?
Yeah, I think the ideal thing would be to open a match, I think, second, and then on the final end probably go first. So you can't always pick and choose that. But I think, yeah, it might have given them a bit of advantage. They've obviously come off a practice field, and sometimes they're positioned differently. So you've got a sight mark for that field. You've come onto this very different finals venue, and you know, arrows can go in different places, and you've got to really be quick to react, get those arrows right back into the middle, because we've just seen France lose too many points on that set.
We take a look back at the highlights as we prepare ourselves for the second set here. Recurve archers shooting the first. It's a little unconventional, but the reason for that is the logistics of changing the targets over the course of these World Championships. And as you can see in the background there, the clouds are pretty heavy. We're right on the banks of the Missouri River, the longest river in northern United States. You just see it trickling by in the background, but what it means is we're in a very flat area where wind conditions are changeable. France trailing in the recurve women's team bronze medal match will shoot first in set number 2, trailing Brazil by 2 set points to love.
That's what they needed, straight back into the middle now. Again, just checking with the coach, you can see through the scope where exactly that's gone.
Loads of communication between these French team. Crazy to think that at just 21 years old, Lisa Barbarin is leading this team as they begin their preparations for the Paris Olympic cycle.
9.
You can see the communication with the archer behind, just talking through this archer on the line. It's really important sometimes to get that constant voice so you can hear, you know, what words you want to hear to get through that clicker.
That is 5. Opportunity now for France. Brazil has one more shot in this end.
Sarah Nikitin up onto the line. Maximum she can get here is 10, obviously, for 24. She's got an 8 for a 22. So a massive advantage for the French team here. Big opportunity to close this one out before Brazil get back to the shooting line.
Yeah, France right back into the match now. Just got to keep these two together, take the set points to even it all up.
8.
So a 7 from Barbarin will get the French team on the scoreboard, and 8 will mean parity in this bronze medal match. Finishing strongly with a 10, and you can see how happy Barbelin is about this. She's put the French team out of reach from Brazil as Dos Santos steps back up. Now, Nikki, these arrows are still important in terms of preparation for the remaining sets.
Absolutely, you know, this set may have gone, but you've got to go up there, shoot the best arrows, you know, use it as a bit of a practice time really, so just try and relax a bit, get into the shot, make sure your sight is in the middle so that you can come back strong after this set. You know, it's 2 apiece, and you know, there's everything to play for.
Well, having shot a 57 in the first set, Keating can only get Brazil up to 50 in the second. How things change in recurve archery. She's got a 9 for a 49. So we are all square. France have drawn level, 2 set points apiece with Brazil. And Nikki, we've alluded to the recent Tokyo Olympic Games, and those finished just a few weeks ago. But it does mean, after a very unique 5-year quadrennial, sounds a rather strange thing to say, we've got a very unique Olympic cycle coming up now, which is going to take us up to Paris, just 3 years. This is a very young French team. Surely that's what they're thinking about, a young team going into the games at home in 3 years. Yeah,
I mean, they're going to be fighting for those spots, because I can remember Audrey Advico, I think it was, came into the Final Four in an earlier World Cup this year, so they've got some really strong contenders. You know, all of those archers want to get there. They've shown some great promise. Lisa Barbelin this year has been fantastic, so it's going to be a really exciting team to watch.
Barbelin here, breakthrough athlete of the lockdown period around the globe for France. Clearly the restrictions she had have not really had too much of an impact on her archery. We're 2 set points apiece between France and Brazil. France getting ready with a young team, including this 19-year-old Melody Richard and Caroline Lopez, who's just 17-year-old, shooting second with their anchor Lisa Barbelin, who's 21 years old, are going up against Brazil, who are striving to get their first World Championship medal.
That is an 8-9 liner, so the judges will have to make a call on that.
They're really quite pumped up as a team, aren't they, as well? You know, lots of cheering, on the buzzer, ready to go.
Shooting fast as well. Good communication between all of the athletes, as you say, Nikki, and the 17-year-old getting involved with Barbelin on the shooting line. She really does look like the real deal, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. She's been so strong this year. A bit more relaxed, keeping them in the gold. That's what they need in this set. Recurve just used a simple pin sight. You can see the circle they're looking through.
Charlotte popping into the 8 there. And that, there will be a requirement for some communication with Nikitin. Needs to get a 10. To give her a chance of staying level with France.
10 will tie for this set, and it's a 9.
Pops it into the 9, so they trail by 1 provisionally, because look at that 8 on the scoreboard, marked with an asterisk, which means it could get marked up to a 9. Your thoughts on that one, Nikki?
I think it was too close to call. We'll have to wait for that. So if they are touching the line at all, it will be marked up. I mean, it's a tight one from there. It could go either way.
So a 10 for a maximum score here of 55 out of 60. Into the 8 there, it's on the 7-8 line. So 53 has opened the door here for Brazil. They've really got to be thinking of that as a 54 though. So they can afford to drop a couple of points and still get points in this set.
Yeah, their minds are going to be firmly on the process, just thinking about their shot routines. They won't be engaged in that story right now, they'll just be thinking through each and every shot, doing the best they can with it.
Whilst Keaton may not be thinking about the score, she really does need to get a 10 here. Even if France get marked up, Brazil will get at least 1 point in this third set, and she's on the 10. So a 54 for them now. It could be 2 set points, as the scoreboard shows at the moment, but we have to wait for a measure on the first arrow from France.
I'm going to tell you, we could see Brazil lose a point. It's possible this is tied.
Nikki, we look at this French team, they look very solid, and one thing I have noticed about them is that there is very clear, concise instruction from all of them. Their communications are short sentences, but also on the shooting line, all of them completely still.
Yeah, you know, they look well gelled, don't they? They look like they've worked together a lot this year, and like you say, each confident in talking the other through what's going on at that time. So, yeah, they look a strong unit.
Look at the measure, you can't quite hear the referee, so I have to wait for final confirmation from the score in the middle.
Target 1, 9, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8. Target 2,
Wow.
9, 8,
So
9.
that looks like not only 1 arrow being marked up, but 2. I think the first arrow got marked up to a 9, and the 4th arrow got marked up to a 10 there. And does that put the French on 55, and they get the set points?
I think that 4th arrow for the French actually was gone. I think it went down as a 10 initially, and then was changed back to a 9. So I think that just maybe have been an error in the scoring initially as it went in. So yeah, it is looking like they've gone up to the 55.
Well, look at that. We thought it was going to be 4-2 to the Brazilian team. We are still waiting for the clock to start, but it is in fact 4-2 to France, and we go into set number 4.
And this is best of 4 sets. Brazil have really got to win this one now to force the tie.
Been a difficult run for Brazil at the World Championships. The World Championship medal has been elusive to them. And here they find themselves staring down the barrel of the gun against a very young French team. A halfway stage of the 4th set. We're at 26 and a possible 30 points. And we switch back over to France. Nikki, the French look so strong now.
Yeah, they really do. What a boost for them as well. Perhaps thinking that they'd lost or only got a point from that set. I think the mentality now to have got those 2 points is going to give them another boost.
Just taking a little bit more time to settle there. Noticed in between shots. She didn't have her eyes closed and visualise as much as she normally does. That's on the line, marked as an 8-4 a measure. And it means they're all square with Brazil, which is all they have to do to take the bronze medal here at the 51st World Championships.
8.
That group just drifting off to the right again for Brazil, so they've got to bring those back over. Whether it's a condition change or maybe just a little bit soft, you know, a little soft bow arm, just if you're taking the pressure off a little bit, that just causes them to go right, for a right-handed archer.
So all drifting over to the right, as the stadium announcer has said. So Keating, is she going to correct things here? Starting to see the tension build after the blow of losing that, and there is the first arrow over to the left. It goes into the 9 ring for a 52, so a big opportunity here for France. And you can hear the limited crowd here in Yankton from France, part of the delegation, no doubt, really cheering on this young team.
Barbalan bouncing on the line behind her, you just noticed there. Absolutely pumped for this.
Absolutely pumped indeed. An 8 to take this one, because that will give them 52 points, potentially 53, so a 7 may be enough here. 8 to be sure. And it's in the 9, and the bronze medal here in South Dakota at the World Championships goes to Lisa Barbalan, Melody Richard and Caroline Lopez of France in the Recurve women's team. They have beaten Brazil 6 points to 2. Well, great stuff for the French team. Oh, look at Barbalan, the emotion pouring out of her. She knows what this means as they begin their preparation for the Paris Olympic Games. This is a great start for them.
It really is. You know, a 4-year cycle feels quite short sometimes as it is, but only the 3 years now, you know, going into Paris, they really are in a great place as a country. I've never seen them shoot so well, and I think it's down to their system. You know, in France, they've got so many centres and so many people coming through that system now. It's really showing.
Great respect shown by them as well to the Brazilian counterparts. Started so well with a 57. There's confirmation that France have taken this set and therefore the match. But Dos Santos, Machado and Sarah Nikitin still striving to get Brazil's first World Championship medal. Failed on this occasion, but against a very strong and a very young French team. First medal decided here at the Hyundai World Archery Championships of 2021, and it goes to France. Well, Nikki, you take a look back over the match, and one of the things that perhaps stood out for me was the major differences between the teams, not only on the shooting line but off it.
Yeah, you know, France, as we said, had the momentum. They had the, you know, the voice between them, and you know, lots of excitement. Whereas Brazil, I think, were a little bit more calm, weren't they? They started off with smiles, but you know, the body language quickly changed, didn't it? After that first fantastic end from them, they just never really got back into the match. Yeah, and how good at just 21 years old is Lisa Barbalan anchoring for the French team. She looks and has looked like the real deal as an individual. She now looks like the leader of a very strong team. Yeah, world number 3.